I'm Protodead, and I've been playing Escape from Tarkov since July of 2017, and I have quite a few things on my wish list that I would like to see change to this hardcore first-person shooter game. Some of these ideas may be a little bit goofy, but hear me out, because you might not have heard these ideas before circling around in our community. Alright, today's discussion has a lot to do with the firing range in the hideout. On my wish list today has to do with the preparation phase. So in the hideout, the shooting range, really, and adjusting your weapons in the shooting range. So we're going to try out our weapon right here, and as you can see, I pulled up my weapon. You can shoot a few times, that's cool. But here, now I want the light on, and maybe my laser and my light, right? Because that's how I want to run it. I want to run my laser, my light, and I want to go ahead and set this for 200 yards because for some reason I'm going to run this goofy gun at 200 yards. And I would like maybe my helmet light to also be on because I would like to be able to see a little better. Okay? And let's not forget my backup. I would like my backup firearm to also have the light on and then maybe also the laser because I'm insane like that. Okay? You follow me? So I have shot, and I have decided to expend some of my ammunition in my gun. I have set my gun up, and also, I can't adjust that. Apparently, maybe you need to have a red dot or something. But my my zeroing has been altered on this gun. So you see 200 in the lower right-hand corner. So that's 200 yards or meters or whatever they say in the game. And I have decided that this is how I want to set my shit up. I've got my helmet light clicked on, and this is the way I am ready to play the game, right? So I am going to go ahead and launch into an offline raid real quick into customs, and we'll just go in nighttime, enable practice mode, and boom. We'll just wait for the timer. Alright, well, it looks like the helmet stayed on. So the helmet light is on. Let's click that off real quick. Okay, but my gun is not. And let's see, my pistol also not. So the settings on my pistol did not save. My gun is still zeroed at 50. It should have been at 200. And for some reason it saved the setting on the helmet. Now, why is that important? Because that proves that this change could be done. Some people like to say, well, they can't do this in the game. You can't make a change in your hideout, and then you see that change reflected. Also, I'm full magazines on both of them. There should be have expended several bullets, and some people might argue with that, but I'll get back to that here in just a second. Some people would like to say, well, it's not possible because in your stash, in your hideout, it is offline. It is not a server. Okay, if it doesn't matter, then how come my head helmet light was on? It can, even if it isn't an offline server, or even if it's not a live official server and it's only a client-side server or whatever. So the helmet light stays on when you click it on in your hideout and you launch into a raid. That change saves. As far as I know, every other change does not save. So my main gripe is I would like to see the changes stay. I would like to see that whatever preparation you make in the hideout, I would like for it to stick and for it to stay with your weapons and however you set them up, your lasers, you know, your lights, your designation, your optic. I mean, does this thing have different optics? No, it doesn't look like it changes the reticule at all, but some of them do. And maybe you like one versus the other. So if you take the time to prep yourself before you launch into raid with your equipment, you should be rewarded by that change staying, you know, whenever you're ready to go. Instead of going to your hideout and then assembling all your gear and launching into raid and knowing as soon as you go into raid you're gonna have to make a bunch of changes and switch your shit around just to get to what you think is your operational. Let's go ahead and just go back and try this in an online raid and see if it makes any difference. All right, we're running back to the hideout, and we're just going to check our stuff real quick. So our gun is not on, so we'll go ahead and switch that on real quick. Our lights and lasers and whatever. So we'll switch that shit on, turn on the helmet. So let's go ahead and launch into a live raid with the exact same equipment. Everything's insured, we're ready to go. Boom. Okay, so while we're sitting here waiting for this to launch into raid, real quick, some people are going to say, well, hey, if I want to zero my gun, or if I want to know how the recoil is whenever I'm using the good ammo, Mr. Dead, Mr. Protodead, I'll be expending those bullets. If you want everything to remain exactly like one for one, every change that you make or everything that you do in the hideout or at the shooting range to be reflective of your inventory in real life, well, then I'll lose my bullets. You know, I'll lose those BS rounds, or maybe those whatever M62 bullets, or whatever the good ones are that you like, that you covet so much. I say, well, that's just fucking tough. I think if you want to get used to the recoil, play the game and shoot with the bullets. If you want to do it in your hideout, you better be willing to use up 30 or 60 of those bullets while you're trying to figure stuff out and dial yourself in. I think it's appropriate, because whenever you hit page up and page down to re-zero your gun, not that I do that very much anymore, but I know there's a bunch of tryhards out there that do. That way you can get a better judgment as to what's going on. If you just want to go down there and fuck around, then I think there should be the cheapest ammo should be for every caliber should just be considered the target practice ammo or whatever, and then maybe it does minimal wear and tear on your gun, the degradation of your receiver or whatever, you know, whatever the gun durability main part is. I think it's the receiver. So maybe, I mean, maybe they could make it worse, actually, like it degrades it worse, because usually cheaper ammo's dirtier and shittier in real life and harder on your gun. Some people say, hey, that's too hardcore, Proto. I think that's probably a bad idea, Mr. Dead, Mr. Proto. But hey, I think this game, it feels like that's what this game is reaching for. For me, that flavor, it feels like BSG is trying to, they want there to be value on your preparation phase. There has to be a cost for everything, I think. And I would just like, personally, the big takeaway is on my wish list, I would like for the activities that you perform in your hideout down in the shooting range, I would like that to be reflective, and those changes to your gun and your equipment to be one for one exact same when you step into raid. When you step away from the range, all the changes you made to your laser designator, to your flashlight, to your helmet device, to your night vision, your goggles, you know, whatever, like all that stuff, your reticule, color and shape, I would like all that stuff to remain exactly as it was the last time you changed it. Okay, here we go. Live raid. Let's see if it makes a difference. Let's see what we got. Oh, it looks like my helmet isn't on, so that's only an offline thing. That only occurs in offline. Holy shit. Okay, well, that's a bummer. And then my gun flashlight, my gun laser, my main gun laser, then pistol flashlight, and pistol laser. So yeah, so maybe the server idea, maybe that has something to do with it, but make it a live server. I mean, it's not impossible, you know. BSG could do it. It's not impossible. They could make that thing a live server. The items that you get in the craft is real. You can take those into a live server. So it matters. It makes a difference. I would just like, whatever it takes, for me, it would make sense for all of the adjustments to remain one for one exact same for when you were in your hideout. Alright, now it's time to go die real quick. And that's it for me. That's the idea. Real quick, real dirty. Tell me what you think. I understand that Tarkov is still being developed and everything is subject to change. These are just my opinions, and I reserve the right to be wrong and to change my opinion when presented with new valid information. Like, share, and subscribe. I look forward to any discussions, clarifying or opposing views in the comments below. Any engagement is greatly appreciated. I would like to continue the discussion, the idea. This is Protodead, and I'll catch you on the flip-flop.